Minecraft Infinite Generation is a powerful tool that lets you create things you never thought possible, like the backrooms and so much more. In this video, I'll show you how to create your own infinite randomized structure generator in Minecraft Bedrock, step by step. I'll explain the process, show you exactly how it works, and even give you download links to make it easier than ever. This is Minecraft Infinite Generation. So the first thing you guys want to do when you join your world or create your world or whatever it is you're creating it on is build your structure or structures. And for the sake of creating this, all these structures are 7 by 7. Don't worry about the commands until I get to that part, but build your structures. It can be as many as you want. I did 6. You can do 4, you can do 2, does not matter. So for the commands, you guys are going to want to try and set up your commands like this. But basically for the commands, you don't even have to, if you guys have 6 structures, you don't even have to make these commands. All you guys have to do is click the link in the description that says command blocks, and then it will give you a behavior pack, which you will just import into your game, add to your world. And then if you guys go that route, all you have to do is place down wherever you want your structure blocks. So let's just say this is the top, this is my roof, and you guys can do it below your structure. It doesn't matter if it's above or below your structure. You just basically would click load after you place down your structure block where you want it to be placed. You probably want to do it a block above, or you can just get the offset to 0, up to you. Just make sure it's lined up on your roof, and then you would do load and then IG commands, and then it will load the commands. That's all you have to do for that. But let's just say you wanted to get these commands from me right now, right here. I recommend using the command block structure thing that I linked though. It's extremely easy and you can just adjust it. So basically what this will do is this will just sit here generating all the structures around it. That's what these commands do. It will generate a structure there, 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 and there. So basically on all 4 sides, it will generate a structure using a scoreboard command, which is this, which just randomizes a number, and then it will pick the structure that it will use. And then how it makes sure it doesn't repeat the same structure is it tests for a block already being there. So it will test if the structure is there essentially, and if it sees that a structure is there, it will not place anything down. And of course there's a cleanup thing at the end of these. It will clean up this whole thing. But basically what these commands are doing are testing if the number is 1 and load structure 1 and structure 2, it will load structure 2, and so on and so forth. So basically what you guys want to do, even if you have the pack, it's one simple step. You're just going to do /scoreboard objectives add randomizer dummy, and you have to add the dummy part. No, it's not going to be used at all. That's just how Minecraft works. And then after you type that in, you just want to click enter. It's going to say it already exists for me, but for you guys it won't say that if you don't already have it. You're just going to do /scoreboard players set, and then you guys are going to want to do 1 randomizer 1. So it basically put 2 here and 2 here. Just keep this same command. If you have to type it all out again, you can. So that way they equal this 5, and then final one 6. So then that way all these go through. Now, and yet again, you guys can place these on the bottom of your structure. Just make sure they're not visible. So then you want to type in scoreboard players random num randomizer, and then 1 6. Make sure there's a space there. But basically what this does is it adds a random number. So this is num, so it chooses a random number for the name num, which you don't have to create anything. You just want to do random num randomizer 1 6. It chooses a random number 1 through 6 because there's 6 structures. Then you're gonna want to place 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 chain command blocks. Now this 7th one, which we'll get into it later, it's gonna have a tick delay of 20. It's all on conditional, always active, and chain. But basically it's just executing if the score. Then basically what these do is execute if score num randomizer equals 1, which is the 1 1. Randomizer run, which runs this command structure load s1. So it's basically testing if it's 1. If the randomizer equals 1, it loads S1, tilde -1, tilde -6, and tilde -8. Basically, it just loads it over here like 7 blocks away so that there's a 7x7, fills in right here. And then you're going to want to do the same for 2, except you're going to want to change these coordinates. I don't know if you guys realized. This one was -1 over in the X position. This one's -2 because we're moving this command block. And then of course -6 down because this is above the structure. If you guys have this on the bottom of the structure, then you don't have to change anything for this. This would not be -6. But just make sure you go accordingly to where you would want this structure to load, which it would load over here. So then if it's 2, you just change the number so that it accommodates to that same position. And then it just basically, you keep finding that spot, you do the math for this spot. You guys can pause at any time on these commands. I'm just going to open them, and then you guys can pause and put them in. These should work all the time if you're doing a 7x7 structure. And then this one fills the whole thing with air so that the commands just disappear after it's done operating. Now all these are like pretty much the same commands except different coordinates. So wherever your middle block is, which I'll get to what this command is in a moment. So for the first one that I did, basically it would go negative, so -z, -x. So we'll move on to this side, which would be the -x, +z. You just do the same command right here, except you're going to want to adjust this to 1 over in the z on both of these. And then of course -1 in the x, because we're going 1 back in the x, and it's testing for this block right here. So I'll let you guys enter that command in. And then it's just the same thing for all of these. So I'll just show all of them. You guys can pause it just so that this video goes a lot quicker. And yeah, so basically this is 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this is the command for the fill. This is different coordinates because you're trying to fill in this whole thing with air. For the +x and the +z, so here is this. Of course, you want to accommodate these commands so that it places the redstone block here and tests for the block here being air. So that's that. If you guys want to copy this, and then this one is going to do num3, so it's just a different number, and it randomizes 1 through 6. So you guys can copy that. Then you guys can copy this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yet again, guys, pause it if you need the command. Then this is filling in the air. You got to accommodate it again to find the coordinates, but this one's for the +x and the +z. And this works best yet again with a 7x7. If it's not 7x7, you guys need to work out the math yourself. For the coordinate that would basically be placing the structure, you got to find which side the structure block goes on. So you just place down a structure block, and since it's here, you would want one that places that structure about here, whatever 7 blocks away from that is. That's where you would want it to place. And then here is 4. So this is yet again accommodating the numbers and then placing the redstone block. You're testing if a block here, if there's a block here, you're just testing if there's air in this spot. If there's not, it won't activate. Then this is num4, 1 through 6. Yet again, just pause at these and copy. And that is 4. That is 5. That is 6. And then that is this. If you guys imported the thing like I said, which is in the description, it's actually a lot easier. Then the final one will be this. Now here's the important part. Repeat, always active. Make sure your command blocks are off, especially for this one. And then you're going to want to do a delay in ticks 120 and execute on first tick. That is always on. You want it off like this. It starts on, you want it off. So that way it doesn't execute first. Basically what this does is it fills this whole thing with air. So like, because all these will not always be used because structures are already there on one side at least, there will always be leftover commands even with this filling the whole thing with air. I don't know why it does that, but it does. And basically it fills this whole thing with air after a while, so it cleans it up. And then what you guys want to do with these commands, so let's just say you put these on top or the bottom of one of your structures, just one of them, and then all you're going to do here is you're going to place one in the corner, and then you're going to want to do 7 by 7, or if you have a bigger structure, then you guys would have to do the math, then 1. So then it has this whole thing in here, and then find a name. You can name it anything. I just did IG commands, so you're just going to do save. Then just stop this, and then keep these, and then you're just going to want to do that. So you would just go here, act like these aren't here for a moment, then you would just do this, load IG commands, or whatever you named it. Make sure that your offset is not -1. Make sure it's placing right here. Then you just place load, and it will load all of those commands. Then you guys are just want to do the same thing for all 6 structures. And then once you guys are done loading it on top of all 6 structures, make sure it fits within the structure. You're going to want to place a structure block here where it aligns with this. So you would place one right here. So it would look like this for the offset. Make sure, and this is important, the structure block is not in the structure. So what you're going to do to avoid that is you should be able to do 1 on the X or the offset, and then just make sure that you have this, and then this is easy if you did 7 by 7 by 7 like me, and then boom, then you have all of it in this, including the command blocks. Then you're just going to want to name this one S1 for your first structure, save. Then do this for every structure, except make sure they all have different names. This one S2, save. This one S3, save. This one S4, save. This one S5, save. And then this one is S6, save. And if you guys have more structures you want to do, feel free to do that. It's just you have to make sure you make more commands. You might even have to build up, but let's just say you did 6 like me. For this example, once you guys are done saving every single one of these, I would do this in an isolated location, not where you plan on doing it, so you guys can come back here and change the structures if you need to. And these are just sample structures. These are not at all what you guys need to make. But yeah, you guys can do a lot more detail and stuff, but let's just say you guys did all those steps, you saved everything. Then you guys are going to want to go wherever you're going to create this. So I'm just going to go to, let's just say 10,000, -60, -10,000. Let's just say that's where I want my structures to start loading. But basically, once you're ready, you're just going to go ahead and load your structure. So I'm just going to load structure 1 right here, right now. And then just, you don't even have to be in it, but I'm just going to go in it. Then I'm going to do /game rule, command blocks enabled. Before we did it false, now we're doing true. As soon as you click this, it will generate everything. It might do what it just did for me, where it just doesn't load anything for a moment, but it will generate these, and then you will have your completely randomized thing, and it will go on and on. You guys can explore it. It just basically keeps on going. And the best part is, unlike other randomized generation that I've seen or made in the past, I made videos in the past, those only loaded 1 by 1. This just loads all around you to the point where you can't see it. And then if you guys wanted to get out of it, you can go here, and you will see occasionally commands still. That's just the reality. And you can see beyond where it loads, but basically you just see it goes within your render distance, and it will generate them. Of course, flying over it like this, it's going to generate faster, and it won't always be beyond my horizon. But if I just go in it like this, again, it's just infinitely generating. And if you guys want it to stop, then just turn off the commands. So you would just do false. That's about it. Hope this helps you guys. Please leave comments below if you need help. Leave a like, subscribe, and my next video might just be how to make them in various sizes. So if you want to have bigger structures and smaller structures all in one, I can help you guys do that in another video. Let's just say if this one hits 100 likes, I will do that. And of course, the command blocks are linked, so if you want to download the pack that has the command blocks, so all you have to do is import them over your structure or under your structure, make it so much easier for you. I will see you guys in the next video.